Hi, this is Faisal from Beastar Solutions, and today we're going to see an overview video of Acumatica Cloud ERP system. In this overview video, we'll look at the navigation and user experience, walk through an order to invoice process, look at the CRM functionalities of Acumatica, look at the mobility features in Acumatica, some of the workflows and approval processes, and then finally wrap up with reporting. So let's go on and log in to Acumatica. So as you see, I'm logging in from a browser window. Acumatica is a cloud-based ERP system. Let me just log in. As I log into Acumatica, it takes me to my home page. Now each user can define their own dashboard as the home page. I've just made customer view as my dashboard and landing pages. The advantage of a cloud-based ERP system is your data is accessible from anywhere. Whether you are in the office or you're on the move, you can access your data, and we will be looking at how Acumatica can be accessed even from a mobile device. One very important thing is Acumatica can be configured very easily. It supports multi-company and multi-currency. So here in this system, you see that I have 3 companies and 4 branches. So Revision 2 Capital is the parent, where the other 2 companies are rolling up. It's also anything that this entire demo is completely out of box Acumatica. So this is all out of box functionality. What you see here is a dashboard, and this is very crucial because it shows you live data. So you don't have to run through a reporting process. It shows you data as it happens in your system. The tiles here which you see are all clickable, which means I can go click on this and see that I see the 3 orders which I have to ship. So this is the drill down capabilities in through the dashboard. You are able to look at the data, drill down, get more details of the data. This is completely customizable. So if I go here, I can customize my dashboard to what I want. I can remove a dashboard. I can move tiles from one place to the other. I can also add a new widget. Now Acumatica supports a number of different widgets. It supports charts, some of the things which you see. It can supports a data table. It supports Power BI integration and KPI. So I can use this tool to configure and set up my own dashboard to look at the data which is available, in addition to the predefined role-based dashboards which are already present in Acumatica out of box. So what you see here is this is a chart, this is a data table, this is a KPI which is available in the dashboard. Moving on from dashboards, what you see to the left is a workspace. So these workspaces are role-based. So when I log in as, say, an accounting manager, I would see finance, payable, receivables, probably payroll as my workspaces. I might not see sales order if that is not the area I deal with. Now, since I've logged in as an admin user, I can see all the different workspaces available. Now, this is completely configurable. If I go here and click on Edit menu, I can actually add a tile to my dashboard. I can add a menu item. I can even add a new workspace altogether, which is the left icon. Here I can move and order the options in my workspace based on how I want it to see. And and it will save my information as I exit the editing of menus. Another important functionality of Acumatica is universal search, which makes it stand apart and really increases the usability. So say I type in 1099, here it shows me all the menu items which is 1099. So I can, if I'm looking for my MISC form reporting of 1099, I can access it from here. It also shows me the various transactions where 1099 appears. So these are all my transactions in the ERP which have the term 1099. I can look at the help topics on 1099 and also look at any files which had 1099 in them, which was uploaded into the system. So this is a very useful feature. So next we're going to see some of the filters. So what I'm going to do is probably go into the controller dashboard. Again, this is a role-based dashboard. So this is what a controller would see. They would probably like to see how much is my open AR, how much is the cash expected in the next 30 days, and so on. I can see my overdue customers from here. So when I click on here, it takes me, with the drill down, it takes me into the list view, the details of all my overdue customers. Here, it shows me my customers. What I can do is click on my balance. Well, what I could do is one thing with these views, I can actually rearrange how I want the information to appear. I can actually filter right from here. If I can hold my mouse steady. Here, is greater than, so let me see if, look at all my overdue payments which are greater than, say, 50,000. And I click on OK. And here it's showing me all the customers overdue payment which is more than 50,000. And I can look at this information from the filters menu. And there is also an option with any view in the system that you can rearrange data. So you can add more columns which are of interest to you. You can remove columns which are not interest. So say I don't want to look at the owner, I can remove this and remove it from the view, and it will be saved from here. So this is how I can work with the system, create my own filters. I'm not dependent on a developer to go and create reports for me. I can create these reports myself. Another important feature of Acumatica is automation schedules. So if I look at my automation schedules, so what this lets me do is, if I go to my payables and look at my processes, so this is where all the processes which I do in my system. Here, let me go to prepare payments. And this is where I would prepare my payments. I will select all the checks which I have to prepare, and the system will bring up all the bills which I need to pay by check. What I can do is I can select from this screen the bills which I want to process and click on this button. Alternatively, instead of this manual process, you can set up automated schedules. So here I can go here, and this is true for any processing screen where you are processing data. You can set up automation schedules. So I can say that I want to run this automatically on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. I can select the time when I want to run this and save this. So what the Acumatica will do is it will run this processing of checks or any other process which I have in an automated way. This is really immense in terms of automating your process. So this was about general features of Acumatica and the great UI functionality which it gives. It's very user-friendly. We'll move on to an order to invoice process. So for that, I will go into sale order. And this is a very common process in ERP systems. As we walk through this process, we will understand how other processes also work in the system. So I will go into my and see a list of sales orders. I can actually go back and I wanted to create a new one. So I will go into my workspace where I see the different quick menu options in here. I can obviously create a new sales order from the menu option, or I can just create this really handy feature for stuff which I'm doing on a regular basis. So when I go to create a new sales order, the information is presented in a very nice organized way. In the top, you see the header of the sale order, and below you see various tabs with the line items of the sale order. What you also see is notes. So with any record, so with this sale order, you can attach your own note, which can be useful for storing any specific information and sharing information amongst your employees. All the activities related to this sales order is stored in this. If you have any file attachment related to this sales order, it can be stored here, and any business event. So this particular record of sale order has a lot of information stored pertaining to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a sale order. So let me select my customer. So I'll select this customer, AA customer, Alta Ace. Now a point to note is Acumatica has an inbuilt CRM system. So the data related to that customer is pulled in as I entered this customer information. So you see the currency and other information was pulled. Now as I enter the lines item, I can click on this button. I can click on a plus sign and add a line item, but I will go here and select a stock item. And this is a very useful feature when you're entering a sales order for you to see what you have sold to this customer in the past and at what price, right? So I see that, okay, I wanted to sell this particular product to this customer. I add this product and I get the pricing. So it pulls in the customer specific pricing for this customer. Now if you go here, this is for a quantity of 1. If I go here and change this to 5, you see it applies a break on the pricing. So this is essentially a pricing matrix which you can set up for each customer. And what I'm going to do is going to delete this record, got added duplicate, and then save my sales order. And it has this the unit pricing. Now, one important thing to see here is as I added my product, Acumatica shows how much I have available on hand, right? So this is, I have 200 on hand and 199 are available, which means one of them is probably allocated to some other order. But I have this inventory information right here in this view. I can also look at the inventory summary and get more information and dig deeper if I need to, which I will not at this point of time. Another important feature is the integration with shipping carriers. So as you're entering your sales order, you can go and shop for rates for your shipping carriers. So what I will do is click on refresh rates, and this will use the shipping carriers which I have configured and fetch the rates from my shipping carriers. Now this is a demo system, so it's not able to fetch the rates, and I will probably skip this and show you another order where we have the rates available. So here is where you set up your order, set up the shipment. You can also process the payments from here. So let me go back into another order and see an order where I might have shipment information. So these are my shipments. If I open my shipment, I would see details of that shipment. But let me go back into my order, the one which I was working on. I'll just try once again if I can get the rates for, it could be that the services are not working. So this is where it goes and talks to, yes, here it is. So it goes and talks to the external shipping carriers, and it shows me the rates for the different carriers for this order. I will select the cheapest one because I'm probably giving shipping included to my customer. So I will select this option and save this. So this is where I do my shipment. Now I can also take an advance payment. So here it lets me create a prepayment. So if I create a payment here, it will let me charge my customer's credit card. So Acumatica has integration with credit card through authorize.net. You can capture and authorize your customer's payment for Acumatica, for your service through Acumatica. But I'm not going to do this now. I'm going to cancel this, and I will show you the processing of shipment. Now, one option here you see is through the sale order, I can create a shipment for the customer. But what generally happens is companies have a different person, a shipping clerk, look at all the shipments. So I'm going to go into the shipping clerk's dashboard, and I will look at the order which I just entered. This is the one with FedEx Ground. I will open this order. And so this is my order, and I will create a shipment. So this is where a shipping agent will be looking at the list of orders and processing it throughout the day. So I will create the shipment from here, select the default options, and once it is completed, I will be able to go into my shipment. I'll go into my shipment from here, and I can print the pick list for this shipment. So now Acumatica supports barcode integration. You can have your complete warehouse operations with the barcode. Let me go back into my pick list. Sorry. So here's my sale order, and open my shipment. Let me confirm my shipment. So my shipment is confirmed. This is the order which it belongs to, and here I can go and print my labels. And it gives me a warning, and I print my label here. So we'll just wait for it to run. So now when that I'm done with my shipment, I can go back to my order and process the invoice. So let me go back to my order. So I'll close this, go back to my sale order. This is the one which I was working on, and then I can, as you see, it goes into this status of preparing the invoice. So I can do this from here, or I can also do it as a batch, as a process. So what I'm going to do is go to sales order and then process shipments. I'll go into this menu, which is which lets me do it in bulk. What I would like to do is work on preparing invoices. So what this does is pull up all the orders for which I need to prepare my invoice, right? So instead of going and finding the sales orders one by one and clicking on prepare invoice, I can go here and actually process this for invoice. So here it's going through the process, and then it has completed the processing. Here I can go into the shipment details. It says that this process has been invoiced, and then look at the order where I go and I can see the invoice. So here if I open the invoice, as you see, it automatically pulled the terms for this customer, and that's the advantage of Acumatica having complete integration end to end. You also can see that this is the details for the invoice, and this is the inventory. This is the shipment number, sales order number. If I go into my document, this is all the information I have. Now, what I can do is I can release this invoice. When I release this invoice, this is similar. This is the same thing as posting the invoice into your general ledger. So I'll just wait for it to complete processing, and as it completes the processing, it's posting this invoice to the ledger. I will be able to see the financial transactions. I get a batch number. Previously, if you noticed, before I released the invoice, I did not have it. I see the batch number, and this takes me into my GL and shows the actual entries, the debits and credits done, which were a result of this sales order. So I can see my expenses being booked and see my AR getting debited out of this invoice. So I will just close this. And we went through this process of creating a sale orders, but it's very important to know that Acumatica can actually automate a lot of these steps. So based on how your company performs, you might have different departments and different teams working on different processes, or you can automate a lot of these steps. So what I'm going to do is create another sale order and show you how you can quickly process one sale order. So this time I'm going to add an inventory item from here. So this is the laptop computer we've been working with. I'll make the quantity as 1. And now what this gives me is this option for quick process. And I'm sorry, I'm just clicking. I'll delete that line, which erroneously got added. And I'll do a quick process here. And this is where I can select whether instead of going through step by step, I can do multiple actions in one step. So I can say, hey, I want to print the pick list. I want to email the invoice to the customer. I want to, and this is, it's giving me a warning, hey, do you want to actually email this? And I can also release the invoice. So the preparing step, the release step, which is posting the invoice, which we saw earlier, we did manually. You can automate all of this by one button click, right? So by clicking some of these options, you can go through this process completely in one go. So that is our the order to invoice process, where we saw a manual process of doing it and also a completely automated process. Now we'll switch gears and talk about CRM. CRM is a very integral part of any company, and Acumatica has integrated CRM. We will actually look at Outlook. Acumatica has an Outlook connector. So here I'm logged into my Outlook. I'm looking at my emails, and I've selected one email which is from an existing customer. Remember, I've logged in. I have this plugin of Outlook of Acumatica enabled in Outlook. I've already logged in, and it shows me that, hey, this email, what do you want to do with this email? This is an existing customer. Do you want to view that lead? Do you want to log activity? Or do you want to create an opportunity from this email? If I were to select log activity, this will let me log this email as an activity. And I've actually gone ahead and created this. If I go here, select Acumatica for a customer which does not exist, it will tell me, it will identify that this sender is not a record, and it will tell me, hey, do you want to create a lead, or do you want to create a new contact for this person which doesn't exist in your Acumatica? Whereas if I were to do this for an existing customer, it identifies and it tells me whether I want to log this activity or create an opportunity, which I can do from here. I can click on this, select some of the options I need, and create an opportunity within Acumatica. So if I go back into my Acumatica and look into my opportunities, again, I'm using my quick search function, the universal search functionality a lot. I actually go into a lead and see my lead records, and this is the email from which I created a lead directly from Outlook. And if you see, it pulled in the information from that email. And if you go into activities, it has pulled in the contents of that email, and also the attachments. If I am able to see and look at this attachment, which was with that particular email. So this is the Outlook integration inbuilt with Acumatica. Next, an important feature for your customers is a customer portal. So Acumatica does provide a customer portal, and I will log into the portal. So this is the backend portal login. As you see, this essentially lets me, as a customer, I get my own login. I'm able to look at my cases. I'm able to look at my orders, track the status of my orders from the portal. I can, in fact, look at the catalog of which is exposed to me and find my specific pricing in the portal, and I can place my orders right from the portal. So it's really very handy, very useful features for your customers. Customers can also download their statements, look at other documents, and perform other functionality. And this is completely linked to backend ERP system. So as your customers place the order, it is readily available in the Acumatica ERP system, and you can process it from there. Switching gears, we will now move on to the mobile solution. And as we mentioned, Acumatica is a mobile, a cloud-based solution, which means that it also supports your mobile devices. Now, what I'm going to do is I will just try to share my mobile device and show you the mobile app of Acumatica. I'm just going to scan so I can share my screen, my mobile screen. This is just an option for me to share my screen. It detects it. Let's hope it works. So I am now able to, what you are looking at is my mobile phone. I'm logging into Acumatica, and this is the mobile app. It's a native app. This is integrated with the native features of mobile device. I've already logged in to Acumatica once, so this is asking me if to use my thumb fingerprint. So I will use my fingerprint to log into Acumatica. So it's, if you have Face ID on your mobile device, it can work with Face ID. If you have a fingerprint scanner, it will work with fingerprint scanner. You can use your camera of your mobile device, and you get this. You see all these features are available to you in very nice mobile-friendly format. What I'm going to do is go and look at my Field Service Manager dashboard. And this is, and on my mobile phone, I can actually see the dashboard available right here. I can look at, hey, these are my the 2 appointments I have for today. I can look at how many appointments are ready to be scheduled. I can see all this information readily available on the go on my mobile device as needed. So this is very handy feature. Another very important feature is I can actually do transactions from my mobile device. So what I'm going to do is look at my expense receipts. This is a very common requirement for your employees on the go who want to do the expense report while they're traveling. So what I will do is I can, of course, scan a receipt and use the AI capabilities of Acumatica, but I'm going to enter it manually. So maybe just call it lunch, and I can upload and take a picture of a fictitious receipt and look up an expense item, maybe say it's hotels and lodging, and $100, and I believe I'll just keep the rest of the information as it is. I can select whether it's billable, if it's related to any customer. A lot of other details can be entered, but I'm going to enter it that way. And this is my my device. This is my expense report, which I entered through the mobile app. So I'm going to terminate this and go back to my Acumatica ERP and try to see the expense report. So here is the list of my expense receipts. And here is the one which I just entered. So this is, it has the details, whatever I entered, I selected is there. And the image should also be available in here. So the image will also be available, the one which I uploaded, and I can process this as usual. So the advantage is an employee on the go was able to fill in the expense receipt, and I am able to get it in real time in the ERP system. So the next thing, we walked through our mobility. We will look at workflows and approval. So Acumatica supports a number of approval processes, and I will take you to this assignments and approval maps screen. So these are all the approval rules created in Acumatica. So here I'm going to go into the PO two-step group approval to show an example of how you would create an approval map. So here for my PO, I have set it up so that it has two steps in my approval. It is first approved by the finance team, and then for the large ones, you see if the total is greater than 5,000, only then it is forwarded to my executive team for approval. And as you see, I've mentioned that the executive is Michael Andrews in this case to do the approval. So this is how I can have define approvals for various processes in the ERP. What I'm going to do is I will sign out and log in as Andrews. And it takes me to my management dashboard, but I want to actually look at, let's see, the shipping purchasing manager. The purchasing manager dashboard, and I see that I have two POs pending for approval. And I log in and I'm able to see my PO and process it from here. Let me just quickly go back and log in with my purchase manager and look at the POs which I have to approve. So somehow I'm probably clicking on the wrong dashboard. POs pending approval. And this is what it should take me, but somehow the screen behind is probably not configured. But this is how Andrews will approve the POs which are actually just above $5,000 or any threshold which you set will go to Andrews for approval. So I log back in my ERP as an admin, and let's talk a little bit on the reporting capabilities of Acumatica. So Acumatica has three different types of reports. There is a financial report writer included with Acumatica, so you can create your own reports, and this is for financial reports like balance sheet, P&L, and cash flow. There is a standard reports designer, which is a Windows tool with which you can define your own reports, and this might be related to how your invoices appear, how you want your printed checks to be formatted, and so on. There's also a generic inquiry writer, so this is for SQL driven inquiries in your Acumatica. So you don't, again, these tools give you the flexibility of creating reports yourself without having a dependency on a developer. So I will just move on, switch back to my ERP. And again, Acumatica has a number of reporting tools available. So I'm going to go into finance, and these are my financial statements. It actually has almost 250 reports out of box, but you can still define your own reports and customize and create your own report. So I will go into the first type of report, which is a balance sheet report. I'll select the defaults and just run the report. And this is where it shows me my entire balance sheet for the period which I selected. I can actually click on this and drill down into the details, the detailed transactions, and see which transactions they were related to. I can also export this report in Excel or PDF format. Again, a lot of customers like to massage the data in Excel, so that is included out of box. All these reports can be exported into Excel. I will go back into my report here, and this gives me the option of looking at my report, the financial report, into unit sets. So here I'm looking at my entire company, the consolidated balance sheet, but if I want to look at one particular branch, I can do it from here. So I will be able to see my different branches in here. Now, if the beauty of this is, if I want to change this grouping or the unit sets, I can do that myself. So instead of looking at how my balance sheet or P&L is by a company or a branch, if I want to look at, say, by product categories, what I can do is I can go into report definitions screen, and these are all the reports which I have available to adjust. Here's my balance sheet report. I can select a lot of data, what is the row set, column set, but here I'm actually interested in my unit sets. And so I wanted to see by product. So double click on this and then save and close. So here I've made the changes. Now if I go back into my finance and go back into the balance sheet report, run the report, and go into my groups, I will be able to see the categories of products. So now the same report, instead of looking at a dimension from a company or branch perspective, I can look at how my lines of categories of products performed. The other type of report is we can look at is the sale order details by customer. Again, this is the second type of report. I can just give it the parameters I want. I will just run it, and this is my sale order details by customer. Again, these features of drill down is available, very handy. You can see what the underlying data is related to the report. The last type of report we have is the generic inquiry. So for that, I'll probably go into a dashboard and see one of the underlying data. So maybe I look at my overdue payments, the same screen where we filtered it by the balance. And here you can actually customize this generic inquiry. And you can, select which tables the generic inquiry works on, define the relations between the tables, add any parameters, change the formatting of it, how you want the data to be visible, or maybe you want to color it in a certain condition based on a certain condition, and so on. So this entire reporting tool is available to you, and you can do it yourself. So that's all of the features of Acumatica. Thank you for watching.